Welcome to the final of the second International Mixed Doubles Trophy in Aarau, Switzerland. We have two teams from Switzerland playing the final game. One is Jäggi Freiberger, a mixed team from Bern and Zug. And on the other hand, we have Martin Rios and Jenny Perret, a team from the Bern area. Yeah, Rios, Perret are undefeated in this tournament. And Jäggi Freiberger also came out of their group as the winner of the group. Alongside me is Al Moore. Thank you, Al, for joining us, and welcome in Aarau.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to be here. This should be a great final. We've got Martin Rios, half of the team that won the 2012 World Mixed Doubles Championship, and Jäggi and Freiberger, the current #1 seed in Switzerland, as a result of their win earlier this year in the mixed doubles tournament in Limmattal. Last stone in this first end belongs to Rios and Perret, who are throwing the red stones. And we'll notice that Team Jäggi, both teams are having the girls throw first and fifth stones in mixed doubles. You play 5 stones. One player plays the first and fifth stone. The other player, in this case both the males, will be playing the second, third, and fourth stones of the end. They, of course, can change that rotation at the beginning of any end, should they choose. No takeouts are permitted on any of the stones in play, including the place stones, until the third played stone of the end has come to rest, which we've just seen.
Al, you've been as a national trainer of the Swiss mixed doubles teams, and also a national trainer of other traditional curling teams in Switzerland. You have seen many mixed doubles games in your career. Have you ever seen a team change their lineup after an end or end by end?
I have. I've never seen any of the Swiss teams do it at the World Championship we've been at, but we have seen occasionally a team will switch the lineup. Usually if the player throwing first and fifth, it's really important that they have a good feel for the speed, and generally their 2 shots are draws to the 4-foot area. If early in the game that player doesn't have the feel, sometimes they'll just make a switch to let that player throw some other shots to get them back into the game. But generally the teams will stick with the rotation no matter what the circumstance is. I think as the game evolves, you might see more of that happen. Also, with some new rules this year in mixed doubles, it's not required that there be anybody in the house holding the broom. And it looks as though Team Perret Rios are sticking with the traditional, have someone holding the broom. And we've noticed in the semifinal, Team Jäggi, on anything but a takeout, will generally... Michelle is very good at setting the target down and then going down on the ice and brushing stones that Murray is throwing.
I imagine it's quite difficult to play a stone without having a broom to target.
Well, I guess it's something that players have to get used to. They have to find some kind of visual signal on the ice. They may use the close hog line to themselves, or the T line, or pick one of those letters at the far end. We'll see on this scoreboard behind, there's lots of writing on it, so maybe you'll pick out a letter each time to aim at. So red team are trying to score a couple of points here, and yellows are obviously trying to prevent that and perhaps even steal a point. There's no advantage to blanking an end in mixed doubles. If you blank an end, you do not retain last rock advantage in the next end. So you quite often see a lot more aggressive play. The scoring tends to be grouped around the center, the button, the dolly, but not always. Other new rules this year are the placement of the stationary stones. The stationary stone in the house used to sit just behind the tee line. Now it's been moved back slightly at the back of the 4-foot area. Nice shot by Rios to open things up. In traditional curling, you'd probably see the yellow stones take that red stone out. However, in mixed doubles, a little more aggressive game, they're going to draw in because they know because the red team are not going to blank the end. Even if they were to take that out, they would know there would be no takeout. There would be a freeze attempt on the one at the back of the button. So they're going to try and block that off and get to the top of the 4-foot, one way or the other around that stone.
Martin Rios has played in mixed doubles World Curling Championships already. I think he's a world champion.
Yeah, he won in 2012 mixed doubles with Nadine Lehman. So he's certainly got a lot of experience playing mixed doubles. He played 2 years actually in 2013 as well. They were undefeated in the 2012 World Championships, and then in 2013 were undefeated in their pool, but lost the quarterfinal game to Team Norway. So in two trips to the World Championships, Rios has only lost one game. He works with a lot of our junior players and rookies as a coach in Swiss curling, and he also is a very good open air player, having won, I believe he won the Swiss Championship open air in 2014, I believe.
Go.
It's a little bit heavy, leaving two Jäggi Freiberger stones still in the 4-foot.
Jäggi Freiberger is a new team in the mixed doubles scenery.
New team, and I think Mario is no longer playing competitive men's play, and I think he's really making a commitment to mixed doubles, and I think his goal is to represent Switzerland at the Olympics, and he's about being the best mixed doubles player he can be. Michelle Jäggi, of course, is still competitive in the women's game and will be competing in the Swiss Women's Championship in another week or so.
Do you think we will see more specialization with regard to mixed doubles curling when it comes to Olympic
I think following the Olympics, being a full medal sport at the Olympics, I think following the Olympics, you perhaps see a lot of competitive teams start to form and dedicate themselves strictly to mixed doubles. There's a lot more tournaments internationally than there was just a few years ago, so the sport is really mushrooming, and I think that'll be an opportunity for players to travel and become more proficient at mixed doubles. And I expect that the level of play will do nothing but increase. However, for the Olympics, it's going to be a tough task to qualify. There's only going to be 8 countries participating in the first Olympics. And the host country, Korea, has already been guaranteed one of those berths. So only 7 berths remain for all the other countries. And at the last number of World Championships, there has been over 30 countries participating. So the way to qualify, of course, will be how your country does at the World Championships. Over the 2016-2017 World Championships, the top finishing 7 countries over those 2 years will be the ones that qualify their country for an Olympic berth.
And how is the Swiss Curling Association picking its representative for the World Curling Championship this year?
This year there'll be a 30-team playoff to go to the World Mixed Doubles, which I believe are in Karlstad this year. And that championship will be held early in March in, I believe, in Thun. Or in Interlaken.
On yellow.
Yep. And will that be played in groups or knockout?
I think it'll be a knockout competition with a playoff.
Okay.
So of those 30 teams, probably 8 will qualify for the quarterfinals, and then it'll be a single knockout from that point on. So Rios was left with a draw to the button, but played it a little defensively, make sure that he was at least second shot and wasn't able to get to the button. So it was a steal of 1 point for team Jäggi Freiberger.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mario, huh?
So there is a new rule this year called the power play. And we'll talk about that, but you'll see the little dots on the ice. And a power play, instead of the traditional placement of the stones on the center line, they're just moved over to the line where those dots are, either one side or the other, with the stone in the house resting in front of the tee line, half in the 8-foot and half in the 12-foot. And the idea behind the power play that it gives the team with last stone perhaps a little better chance to try and score 2. However, we've seen it defended quite well when the opposition just angle raises their own stone into the house. But we'll talk about that when it occurs. Usually you'll see that happen later in the game, 6th, 7th, 8th end.
Ja, tegellinje. Hard.
I've heard this game, mixed doubles, referred to as relentless drawing to the 4-foot.
Also go. Go, 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 go.
And certainly the team that gets the feel for the distance has a big advantage.
Good.
First shot by Michelle Jäggi. I think she might have got shot stone there, although they're pretty close. But certainly a nice shot behind the guard in front of the tee line. I know a tactic that hasn't been used very much, that we actually used quite a bit in the World Championships with last stone, would have been to play a soft peel on the top one and actually split that top one to 2 corner guards, because they still weren't able to take the stone in the house out of play. It set up a lot of opportunities that we scored 2 on, and I haven't seen a lot of teams use that tactic here, but I think it's one that will slowly develop over the course of the next few seasons, where teams, instead of trying that corner freeze on the one in the house, will actually just play a soft peel and make 2 corner guards out of it. And I was with Rios in the 2012 mixed doubles. Maybe he forgot. But we used that successfully.
Ja, blijft. Veilig. Knap.
But when I get you right, you think that the development is not finished, the status of this mixed doubles curling?
I think there might still be some rule changes to this game to make it more appealing. I think perhaps instead of having just one power play, there might be a multiple set of placement of stones that will be different so that every end can have a little different thinking. I think that would also create a little more strategic thinking by the players. They'll have to be a little sharper rather than just, as I said, the relentless draw to the forefoot will change the tactics a little bit. And I think players will also develop different strategies on how to play the stones that are there now.
Dat weet je niet. Also één for sure.
We've had 24 teams from 10 countries here in Aarau this weekend, and that already shows that mixed doubles is quite popular in many nations now, and especially in Eastern. We have the teams from Eastern Europe, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and also the Baltic states. So
and almost the best of the best here. We had the 2013 and 15 world champions from Hungary were here, who did not qualify for the playoffs, so that says a great deal about the strength of this field. The 2014 world champions from Switzerland also did not qualify, so we've had a lot of top teams here, and for the two teams to make the finals, they've had to, bring their A game and play very well. So this is certainly a top field and a great experience for all those countries and teams that are trying to get better at this game.
do you think we'll see in the long or medium term, we'll see the same countries which are already the traditional curling countries, or is it a chance?
I think you might see some different countries emerge than we see traditionally in curling. Teams like Hungary have already shown how strong they are. Perhaps some of the Asian countries will develop a little more. So the traditional Scotland, Sweden, Canada, Switzerland countries, it may be a little different. I think there'll be opportunities for more countries to be involved.
Dat is het veel curling.
Nou, dit is de
Dat is
clearing.
voor afvang als je curlt.
Clearing. Ja.
Things aren't looking very good for Rios and Perret right now, so they're going to try and throw some heat down here and move some of these yellow stones out of the way.
Dus met een 3 ga je niet winnen. Het kan de niet. Zie je?
Zeker.
Ja! Oh! Oh! Ja! Ja!
Zie je? Zie je? Zie je? Zie je? Merk dat ze de kaart al goed is.
Ja. Het is Mina, hè? Du bist auch gerade weg. Hast du noch einen? Nein, ist Mina.
Du hast gesagt,
Nein, da hast du noch einen.
Ja,
du bist nicht weg.
Also.
1, 2. Du hast noch einen.
Ja.
Innen. Dat we naar drauf schießen. Ha?
Very
Nee,
nice
aber-
rock here by Martin
Innen.
Rios.
Afreizen. Ga je eigenlijk vast gleich, oder? Also schon ein bisschen kürzer vielleicht, aber...
He actually just touched the top guard a little bit, which changed directions of the shooter just by a hair. If he'd have got by, he might have been actually able to spin all the stones out of the forefoot.
Gleiche Länge, denke ich. Ah, der kommt doch oben, kommt da, von rechts, von rechts. Go hard.
You'll see Michelle being a bit of a skip in her own right.
Is hij erop? Go hard!
Gets out of the way for brushing. It's not something that, this is quite a big mistake by Mario. He's opened up the stone that was under cover.
Ja, ja. Stills, hè?
And give it Rios a real opportunity to sit 3 points here. He might have to lose his one at the back of the forefoot, but if he can hit the yellow stone on the left as we're looking at it and roll in behind the other red stone, he could sit 3 or possibly 4. That was a real mistake by Mario. He had to make sure not to hit that stone in front of the house.
Ah, shit, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Links, Maria.
Jenny.
I think Rios didn't quite get out far enough to the brush there, and also maybe started that one toward the inside.
So he let the opponents off the hook.
Yeah. However, there's still a lot of red stones in the house, and Mario's got to be careful of that.
Im Moment muss sie ihn rausnehmen, dass sie hier einfach durchgeht. Es muss einfach das Loch zugehen. Wenn sie aussen ein bisschen sieht, macht es nichts. Er muss einfach hier das Loch zutun, und dann ist gut. Sie geht, und dann kann sie nur über einen von uns gehen, oder? Und dann, ja, dann wären es auch 3. Aber wenn mein Doppel nicht kommt, sind es auch 3.
I think they've decided on a draw. They had talked about hitting their own and perhaps doubling out 2 of the red ones.
Freeze ist keine Option, gell? Einfach gegen 3 Guard ist auch ein bisschen blöd, aber nein, ist gut. Ja, okay, nein, ist gut so.
Yeah, they have decided on the draw. I think they're trying to draw right in the top to the forefoot.
Okay, jetzt gehen wir, tue die auch hoch. Wo sind wir?
This one's over curling.
Kommst noch ein bisschen auf, wir geschubbern.
This ice has a little more curl in it now than the players are seeing. There's been 3 shots come down here that have curled more than they're expecting.
So.
Ja.
Geile Quoto.
Ja.
I think the opportunity for 3 or 4 here.
Can Jäggi come to the inside here? Or?
I think he can get to the inside. I think they're going to play back ring weight.
Oh ja, ja, wie zegt Frau Chase?
If they can play back ring weight with the amount of curl there seems to be in the ice right now, they can get to the inside of this stone and push it back for 3 or 4 points.
Ja.
And this time Martin is immediately...
So he's picked a spot for Jenny to aim at, and he's going to go down and brush to try and maneuver this stone into the right line.
Svitos! Görle!
Skott i längden.
Görle! Görle! Fast! Fast! Yes, fast! Och nog lite fast!
By the guard. A little too heavy though to make the shot.
Sitter uppe i de juniorer.
I believe it was another steal of 1.
Nein, wir sind gelb.
Rub the guard, I think.
No, they did score 1. They weren't able to score any more than that.
Okay.
So the stones have been positioned in traditional mixed doubles setup.
Nein, denen lang.
Richtiges Fuß. Nur mal Länge. Der Görle. Achtung. Richtiges Super. Ja.
We've had interesting teams here this weekend. For instance, the Russian trio, a trio of 3 teams coming here with their coaches. And apparently they are also preparing very seriously for the Olympic competition.
Yeah, and the Russian team of Victoria Moiseeva and Peter Dron, I believe they won the World Championships in 2011. So they're still together as a team. And yeah, coaches are here. The Spanish sent a couple of teams.
Nein, Görle. Veel Görle. Achtung! Achtung, ja!
Seem to get the ice figured out now. They're zeroing right in on that 4-foot area.
Sehr schön. Sehr schön.
Zürcher muss man
Sehr
verstehen.
schön. Ich habe ja gestört.
Ich will diese Seite.
Da. Ist doch cool.
Nein, diese.
Ich glaube, er ist nicht so spät.
Looks like Rios is going to try and hit this stone a little bit.
Vor der 12.
Ja.
Wenn er gut kommt bis drauf.
Ja.
He can't take any stones out of play until after the third stones come to rest, which is this one right here.
Veel Platz.
Nicht so schlecht.
Veel Platz. Richtiges Super. Achtung. Ja.
Nein, hoch. Hoch.
Görle. Görle.
Ja, es ist
Super,
schon
wenn
genug.
Görle. Das ist super. Fest. Hoch. Sehr schön, Rios.
Ja, wir sind
Willst du es probieren?
Mixed doubles is all about positioning. So precise positioning of stones is key to success in mixed
Ich
doubles.
glaube, wir sind sogar schon...
And patience.
Nein, bin nicht ganz sicher. Also direkt dann machst du auch an dem. Weil so, das ist nicht möglich.
You also see the teams discuss a lot about strategy and opportunities and options, and
Yep.
there's always room for different solutions,
Ja,
or often
etwa gerade da
There's
brechen.
usually one of the players that the team will defer to, even though they both will have input. Quite often, one of the players will be the one who has sort of final vote. In this case, it seems to be Michelle Jäggi that has the final say on this team.
Glück habe ich ihn gewusst.
Ja, das hätte ich noch nicht genommen. Er ist sicher dort.
Wo?
the run back didn't work out quite well.
No, he was trying to stir the stones in the house around.
Für den einen, Jenny.
Ja.
Also wir können da uns aufreißen.
Nein, ich finde es gut.
Ich kann schon für den Text ich muss nicht weiter.
Das ist ein dünner. Der da. Ja, geht schon.
Mixed doubles is a little different from traditional curling in that with traditional curling without last stone, you're looking to force the other team to one. I think you are in mixed doubles too, but I think there's more of an eye on stealing. You're always looking for that opportunity to steal something.
Klap zo, ja.
Waar is er?
2 bis 3.
Yep. Oh, nog maar lang, richtig is super. Richtig is super. Niets nog, niets nog. Dat kan niet. Schön. Perfect.
Dem Gelb siehst du praktisch nichts im Heck. Sag einfach, wo hier nebendurch und hier. Ja, ja, ich sage nochmal, also. Sicher das nicht so? Nein, ich frage. Ich glaube das. Wenn es nicht ist, sowieso.
What are the opportunities here for the...
Well, I think if I was Mario Freiberger, I think I would try and hit the top Yellowstone on the left side and perhaps spin it into the house and open up the centers and have my other Yellowstone into the house. So maybe play board weight, hit 3/4 or 2/3 of that top Yellowstone, move the red out of the way so I've got that draw on that side, and also perhaps spin that Yellowstone into the house, which could be a potential counter later on. So it would be twofold. It would open up both draws and also perhaps put another stone in the house. I think they're trying to come around this stone. I'm not sure that's all there. They're trying to come around this stone, which they've done, but I don't think that was ever going to be able to do what they wanted.
Ja, de 2 is ook goed. Ja. 12 is ook goed.
Who is shot rock there?
I believe the red one is shot stone, based on the reflection in the mirror behind them.
Hij is snel op de
Nee, dat is me niet.
So I think they'll be playing a guard, but I think they want it in the rings. Not sure why. I don't think it serves any purpose by being in. I think what they're trying to do is perhaps get it slightly behind the yellow one so the yellow one can't be raised back.
Avoid the race. Huh?
But it doesn't have to be in, it just has to be slightly around the yellow one.
Zijn handel. Ik wil weniger gehen.
Na plötzlich haben wir wieder gewechselt.
Speelblad.
Eben.
Nou.
Voorbij.
Ja.
We gaan touw.
Nee, niet zot maken.
Well, he's touched the yellow one up. Now it might be a question as to who's closest. I'm not sure why they were trying to go so deep with that one. I think they already had shot stone, and I think a guard top 12 footer just short of the house would have been fine. I had a real hard look at this, so they must be very, very close.
Okay, also sie hat er dann. Und sie kann da hier hinten. Natürlich schön, wenn der eine
The way it sits right now, it's going to be very difficult. If yellow, in fact, are shot stone already, it's going to be very difficult for them to score 2, at least to sit 2 after this stone. And if red are shot stone, Then Mario would have to come around there and just tap the red-yellow combination a little bit to be shot.
Inhändel, muss man einen Sonntag treffen, Backline.
Nein, kannst du hier einfach halt da aussen durch. Ich muss rantagen.
You're looking at a guard,
Ja gut, mach mal.
which is unusual,
Ja gut.
because if they're already sitting one and guarding, they're going to have
The race double,
Small
is the race
opportunity
double
to get-
available there?
Dat zou ik eenmaal daaraan stellen.
Probably.
I think if he throws a raise,
En de ene, daar hebben we nog een.
he may be spilling his own Yellowstone into the open
Ja, dat is goed dat de rang goed is. Want toch ga je wel nog maar overeren.
if he plays it with any weight at all.
Ja, en daarna ook zo is. Dat is niet goed, dat gaat. Kijk, de kijkers weg.
We have another game currently running on sheet D. It's the bronze medal game between the losers of the semi-final. One team is Scotland, Judith and Lee McCleary, and the other team is a Swiss team from Dübendorf with Felix Attinger and Ursi Hegner.
Goed, wenn sie nachher kommt, dann legen sie
Yeah, Ursi from Utzville. And
Utzville.
after two
So it's a
ends, Scotland
combination.
scored one in the first end and have stolen one in the second end. However, Swiss seem to have two in there right now and drawing to put a third one in. Keep our eyes on that for you. To make a decision here, Mike. Do you know
Me?
what they've decided to play?
I would say race double.
Ja, en de meid, du musst ihn ein bisschen offen decken.
On the red one to the right, on the right side, to make sure that the yellow one is shot rock. But of course, then
En de lijn, ja. Ja,
Yeah,
kan je ook.
looks like maybe they've chosen to guard. Take the raise away from
okay.
Rios. They're worried about Rios making that
Yeah.
raise and sitting.
and then make a measure on
points.
on the two rocks.
You don't want to set it up for him.
Also nur eine Stunde haben.
Kein Problem. Wir haben auch eine Stunde gebraucht jetzt.
Ich will den spielen.
I think they can,
Backline.
Rios indicate if they play backline weight and just hit
Santi.
the very edge of that red stone at the top of the forefoot, they could push it onto the other yellow one and perhaps sit
Yeah.
three.
Siehst weniger als
Sag
nichts.
einfach die ganze
And I think that's what
und viel mehr.
But you
Team
don't see a lot
Jäggi
of that.
Freiberger were trying to guard against. But their
Also sag wo.
guard over curled, so they didn't actually guard it at all. So I think there's enough of that stone available.
Also wenn sie
They hit what they can
Noch
see.
mehr.
gut für uns, oder?
Just get by the guard and
Immer
then
raus.
I think they can probably miss the guard by 2 or 3 centimeters and
Das lang fertig.
just catch the edge of that stone.
Nur das Anti treffen. Ich will so spielen.
It's going to play
Wenn
backline
ganz
weight.
mal kommt, sind wir noch zu dritt da hinten. Aber
Certainly, if you make this shot,
zwei ist schon mal super, würde ich
yellow
sagen.
is going to be Freiberger,
Warte mal, warte
Jäggi are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ja, ich denke. Ich denke, scheiße, was soll ich machen?
mal. Ich weiß nicht, was meinst du damit?
would it be allowed to put your broom up there to the wall?
I suppose you could carry an extra brush and put it on the back wall.
As a substitute for the
Good point, coach. This is close. Oh,
Come on! Weltklasse-Stein.
nice throw
Yeah.
by Jenny. She had perfect weight. I think red are sitting 2.
Martin
I'm
is
not sure, maybe even 3.
calling it world class. So it must have been a good solution.
Genau nass, oder was? Nass?
Can't quite tell. They might even be sitting 3, 2 for sure, and totally undercover. And the danger, of course, with hitting one of those yellow stones back is that it's going to probably remove the yellow stone that's already there. I think just 2 they're sitting.
Maybe they can use the rock that they have played before now.
Yeah, they might be able to use that yellow, red into the house, double out the 2 red ones, and score their 1 point. I don't think they can get in any trouble doing it. They probably want to hit it just slightly on the early side, almost on the nose.
Ja, ja, aber...
They hit it just a centimeter on the right side of center. The drag effect should just drive it straight back.
Michelle is certainly able to play the heavy rocks.
Close.
Oh.
Nope. So those rocks were not frozen.
Yeah.
So no drag happened on those. The drag effect, we mean the way stones that are touching each other come off when you hit them. They come off at a slightly different physics than stones that are apart. So that's a steal, I believe, of 2.
Wij eigenlijk voor de wouden. Is eigenlijk niet goed gekomen.
And as Rio said, a world-class shot by Jenny on her last one, and not getting the guard in place by Mario on his last one really made it a lot of trouble for Team Jäggi Freiberger. So after 3 ends of play, it's 3-1, I believe, for Perret and Rios.
Ja, ik heb het ook niet. Ja?
Laat kort.
Ja.
But the power play end has not come into
No, I think teams
consideration
save the
yet.
power play. So this is traditional setup.
Lang je ene bremsen. Als een beetje panic immer. Als een beetje immer loslaten, ziehen. Klein Quatsch.
A little heavy.
Dialogues between
Kom je in, hè?
man and woman.
Kom je in.
Gives an opportunity to Team Jäggi Freiberger now to draw one around to the top of the forefoot. Try and create opportunities for 2 points later on. In our bronze medal game, Team Switzerland, Hegner Attinger scored 1 in the 3rd end. So that score is now 2-1 for Scotland, with Last Stone playing the 4th end. A little bit late by Michelle. It's not exactly where she wanted it. She needed to have that one in the house. That gives Rios a chance to come around and freeze down into the pocket of those 2 stones. Mixed doubles is like any other sport and like traditional curling. It's about taking advantage of your opportunities. You really want to capitalize when the other team misses.
We've just seen Martin Rios moving around stones. Is it important which stones you play all the time? Do you play the same stones? Or?
I'm sure they've mapped the stones out over the course of the week, and they've selected stones that they know are the same, similar stones. And certainly you may choose a stone that curls more.
Ja. Not clever.
You would like to stop at the top of the button, but
Sorry.
Er hier? Oh, der ist
Basically, the job was accomplished. He's eliminated that Yellowstone
Was?
from play almost.
Über die vorne 4.
So
Ja, probiert.
Ball
here
stones
comes
behind
another
the
draw
center
into the
line,
4-foot.
behind the tee line.
Oh geil, der steigt so vor die Kulier. Mischi, das ist eigentlich nicht schwierig, finde ich.
Ist glaube nicht so schlecht. Gehen der
Da
knapp.
kommst du wohl mit. Das ist zu weit aus, oder? Ihre Girls eben mehr im Finish als unsere. Habe ich das Gefühl. Oder nicht?
Sehr schön, Mario. Ganz schön.
And Mario's come around.
Und dann macht er wieder den Glück.
Ja, ja, aber der Stein weniger. Was willst du spielen? So.
Ja,
To
hat
the
die.
top of the button. Excellent
Ja,
spot.
der kommt auch nicht mitspielen. Da.
Eben so picken. Was ist an dem Schlag?
Rios is thinking of throwing a takeout at this. However, his other option would be just to freeze on it and make
Aber
getting two really
der
difficult
weist auch nicht.
for yellow.
Weißt du, oben, also wirklich dünn. Aber
Die Scheiße, können sie so mitnehmen.
ja, das ist nicht so geil.
One thing in this game is you need a lot of patience.
Ich habe einfach von dieser Seite.
Don't panic. I think just to freeze down there, even tapping it back onto the redstone and staying right in front is
Und sonst, ich habe das Gefühl, wenn man den Picker
a
halt.
much cleverer shot.
Ja.
Just picking this out gives
Aber wirklich ganz dünn.
Team Freiberger Jäggi an opportunity to put one in that's even better. And if you actually hit this yellow one and clip it off that other redstone, it'll give them more room
Ja.
Aber bist du nicht
to get
einverstanden?
one in there.
Aber ich konnte nicht wischen, weil ja, ich denke, gleich ein bisschen offen ausnehmen wieder hintereinander, oder?
And you could even take out your own rope, couldn't you?
Gut, ich habe gerade am Anfang angeguckt, dass
throwing
ich
weight.
nicht anwischen, wenn du so schöne Länge hast.
Throwing speed at it. He took a little bit of a backswing to help generate a little more speed.
That's what he wanted to do.
That's what he wanted to do. However, it didn't really change things. It's still opportunity for Team Freiberger Jäggi to get one in there even a little bit better.
Du hast sie noch.
Drei.
Ah, das bringst du schon. Ja. Soll ich richtig wischen, dann nehme ich darum den. Dann könnte ich ihn am Schluss.
Wobei, geht glaube ich nicht. Ah,
Ja, ja.
ist gerade so knebig. Aber ich glaube, es ist mit ihnen spielen.
Rios out there to take a little look at the
Nein,
angles,
geht
maybe
eben
planning a
nicht. Willst du
future
auf dem
shot.
Gelben?
Das ist jetzt längstens nachgestoßen.
Wenn sie jetzt einen machen, ist egal.
Ja, ja.
Mario's going to try and duplicate his last
Nehmen wir
shot.
jetzt Powerplay.
Maybe get a little bit more behind the guard.
Ich finde es noch geil, dass immer in der Hinterhand zu haben.
Eben, ja.
Dann machst du
Sind
sicher
ein bisschen
einen
kürzer.
vom letzten.
Wow, 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 wow. Warte, lass mich noch, ist genug lang, ist genug lang.
Nochmal.
Ja, jetzt wird man weniger. Ja, ja.
He has got a little bit more
Is er
under cover.
Jetzt siehst du weniger. Ja. Aber wir können den noch mal picken. Sehen wir immer.
Ja, schau mal, wie viel du nicht siehst.
Ja,
Viel weiter in jetzt.
ist ja egal. Wir müssen einfach treffen.
Okay.
Aber ich schaue, wenn ich das Gefühl habe, es ist nichts, spiele ich ein bisschen kürzer.
Ja, ja.
Rios is going to throw the same shot, just trying to pick it out of there.
Ein bisschen weniger.
Ja gut, er hat jetzt den letzten, also dann kannst du nochmal so, dann musst du immer mal picken, oder?
Wie viel hast
Und sie-
2 Santi.
Einfach, ja.
Ich glaube, es langt, oder? Sollst du auf Guard?
du? Ja.
Nice shot. Couldn't see very much of that stone. Notice he just missed the guards.
He seems to like those shots.
I think that's one of his favorite shots. You see, Martin likes to throw them high hard ones sometimes. Sometimes we have to rein him back in this game, mixed doubles, which is more about draws.
That's probably what he learned when he does Swiss outdoor curling in the Alps.
Outdoor curling, you throw high hard ones, yes. Sometimes for draw weight.
Yes.
Nur wenn ich muss, richtig. Hänger 4.
Okay, this one's come right down. There won't be any taking this stone out of play.
Up to you, Mr. Golf.
What they'd like to come do is right down on top of that one and actually move the red one behind it a little bit out of the way. So subsequent takeout would remove the yellow one. Probably see back 4 foot weight, maybe a little more, back 8 foot. Try and come right down on the nose of that one. If they do that, they'll successfully have held Jäggi Freiberger to an opportunity for 1 point.
Richtig ist gut, richtig ist gut. So, Perle, Perle! Oh! Zieh! Oh, oh, oh! Perle, wenn's geht.
I think they're trying to get to the inside of this stone.
Ich würde sagen, viel besser kannst du nicht spielen.
Martin likes it again.
Verzählt da, hä?
His partner
Good
Jenny.
shot by Jenny. I don't know whether there's a 2 there or not. That angles maybe make it difficult to get 2.
Ja, den muss ich hure dünn brechen. Weil den breche ich immer hier noch ein bisschen.
To hit that one hard enough to get it out of there, your shooter's going to roll away. And it may even push the other yellow one back and leave the red one at the back of the 4 foot shot. But I think they'd have to move it because it's sitting right on the center line. Can't outdraw it, so they're going to have to throw some weight at it to move it. Another great shot by Jenny. Seems to really like throwing the last stone. It's probably be a steal of. That was interesting. She didn't actually hit the stone on the 4 foot. She hit the one behind it and spun them all around and left the 1 red in play. So that's another steal of 1 for Rios-Parrot, and they take a 4-1 lead. She was trying to just pick that red stone clean, score 1. So is it time for the power play?
I think so.
Halfway through the game?
Now or never.
Apparently never.
Doesn't look like.
So again, the traditional setup. They may have a team rule on Freiberger Jäggi that they never pull the power play out until at least the 6th end.
Yeah. Well, being 3 down is not a catastrophe.
No, just get
isn't
a 2 back and the game's wide open.
Richting is goed.
One thing about mixed doubles,
Oh, nog maar
you're
eentje,
going to
nog
lots
maar
of
eentje, nog maar
opportunities to get stones in play.
eentje. Hoe is het?
Ja, Hollands gaat. 4.
They seem to have figured out the line to the button on this one.
Beter
And
gaat
Jenny's made another great shot. She's playing very, very well today. She's got a great feel for weight, and they've certainly figured out the line.
Was? Hinger, hoe zou je varen? Vol varen. Hinger 12.
Michelle Jäggi will be trying to come down and move those stones around
Yeah.
to open up the scoring area in the 4-foot.
Wow. Wow.
Or maybe they're playing, finally, someone's playing the soft peel.
Go, 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 go.
That's a great tactic.
Ah,
It certainly opens up the scoring area.
nog weer gaan, hè?
Ja, de
Waar
vries.
Freeze.
Team Rios-Parrot still can't take any stones out of play.
Glid tap is ook goed.
We haven't seen that move a lot during
Nope.
this
And
weekend. no.
I like that particular
Yeah.
play. Now they got 2 corner guards to work with. The center's opened up, and I think you'll see Rios try and play a freeze right down on the ones in the house.
Nog maar eentje.
Ja, nu.
Ze curlen.
Ja, ja.
Hoe is het?
Ja, lang.
Ze veel curlen.
You want to be right on the nose. Trying to make a curl by sweeping over on the side.
Zo goed.
Dat is te slecht gespeeld.
Well, he's moved them all around, so I would say opportunity now exists for
Ja, zie.
Team Jäggi Freiberger to create the opportunity for 2 points.
Ze 3 voor.
Wasn't there a rule once prohibiting a corner sweeping? Is that rule out of?
Yeah, the World Curling Federation are looking at all these rules right now. They're meeting in Toronto, I believe,
Weer poetsen. Weer
and
hinger af.
brushing is top
Nee, is wel goed.
point on the agenda with a lot of directional, as I call directional sweeping. The stroke is more directional, not in front of the stone and not intended to be in front of the stone to make the stone curl either more or less.
Ho, 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 ho. Zo is dat.
Tappel.
So I think all these things are being reviewed.
Jij zegt het scherpelijk ook.
There was a lot of discussion about broom technology.
A
And
lot of discussion about broom technology, about the material, what's being used. In the case of the different pads, how much grit is allowed. In the case of hair brooms, what length the hair has to be. And of course, the direction of the stroke, which I personally believe is the most critical issue of everything.
Ja.
And
Daar nog bij, doe er zo zand in.
I think in the
Ja,
interest
de
of
rode wiet met de
curling,
zes.
my opinion is that we want to keep curling where the
Oh.
successful completion of the shot is based mostly on the athletic ability of the players and not on brushing technology.
Goed zo.
So
Met zo'n riesengoorn.
are you speaking about brushing technology or brushing techniques?
both, I think
Both.
both come into play, and I think right now technique
Ja, want het is nog steeds
is more of an issue than the actual
Hey, maar
technology.
graag leven niet zo goed. Zo is best.
I think at the beginning of this year, technology took center stage with the different pads that were in place and the amount of grit they had. But I think as we've moved back to older style brushes, we've seen that technique with hair brushes that have been around for 75 years, that with different technique you can actually manipulate the stone. So for me, it's more about technique than technology right now. Great shot by Mario, moved all the red stones around and left his team sitting 2.
Yep.
I think we saw a similar shot this afternoon in the semifinal where he made a triple takeout, just almost the same as this.
Toppel.
Nee, weet je niet. Daar hangt toch niet.
Excellent.
Nee, gewoon 1 is goed.
Oké.
So do you think that we once will see the good old brush is being prohibited by the World
I don't think
Confederation?
anything is going to be prohibited. I think they'll be more defined as to the specifications of the equipment. And
Halv? Ja, nej. Viertel. Ja, misst egal so. Nein, nein, diese, komm. Ist gut.
and I think that
Große.
there'll be more of a look at
Ja, ja, out.
the technique. I think we're going to have to see that brushing across the entire face of the stone on both the downward and backward stroke
Ja, ist gut.
is going to become
Sorry,
mandatory. And I think if my
Halb
opinion
ist
is,
doch redelijk krieg.
if they do that, that will eliminate the directional part of the brushing right now that is steering the stone down the ice. And I've made my thoughts known to the powers that be at the World Curling Federation, so
Oh, nicht. Yep.
it'd be very interesting to see. You'll notice Martin there sweeping on the inside only,
Yeah.
trying to make that stone curl.
But isn't sweeping also part of the game? I mean,
Sweeping's always been part of the game, and I guess the philosophy is how much should it influence the path? I think in the past, traditionally, it's been probably, the shot's been made as a result of 90% of the athletic ability of the player and maybe 10% help from brushing to take a stone farther or delay the curl. I think we've moved past that now, and I think some of these stones are being made based on 75% or even 70% of the athletic ability of the player and 25% of the brushing technology or technique. So I guess philosophically, the curling bodies have to determine how much do they want brushing to be a part of the result of the stone. You know, my feeling is that I'd like to keep it in the 90%, 10% range. But if the powers that be say it doesn't matter, then it becomes a free-for-all with brushing technique and technology. And to me, that would be a shame. That would, players and athletes are training hard to improve their technique and improve their athleticism. And if that doesn't become a prime importance anymore, you might find the very better players quit the game. And that would be my fear, is that if we let brushing take too much of a front stage, that some of the great athletes will move to other sports. So that's my my thoughts on things. So that's my soapbox stand.
Ich schon, aber ich bin nicht du. Lieber so.
Ja, lieber.
Dan musst du weniger als een
in
Viertel
our game
nehmen.
we have an opportunity now here, I guess, for
Yeah, there's if you look at the mirror behind, you'll see those stones set at an angle. So they're going to try and hit the yellow stone on the outside. On the left side, probably about a little less than a half, about a third of a stone, and the shooter will roll over and take out the other yellow stone.
Sicher voor de Zwick.
And so far, Jenny has made everything she's looked at. She'll probably be close to this. Hit it a little too thickly
Go, 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 weitergaan. Goed.
and rolled too far, so open draw to most of the house for 2 points.
Sorry.
Ich weiß, hast du gerade angemerkt. Wieso ist doch das Geilste so steil?
Nee, Angst, dass er innen durchgeht, darum habe ich das
Ah,
Ich dachte, das
zweimal drauflegen.
Ja.
Genau ist der Stein. Cooler Zweier. Das ist aber gleich. Und mir wieder der letzte.
soll ich machen.
Ja, einer ist schon gut.
Jetzt kalt lecker am Schluss stehen. Ist nicht so schlecht, Mario. Wow, 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 nein, 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 nein.
Michelle's got the speed right on the 4-foot area. Score of 2 points. That tightens the score up. Rios-Parrot still lead 4-3 after the 5th end. And they will have last stone moving into the 6th end.
Is there any need for them now to take the...
Possible they could, but I think looking ahead, they'll say that possibility they could have last stone in the 8th end. And certainly the power play could be used in the 8th end to keep the center much more open. So I don't think you'll see them put it in play this end. And they're not. They're putting back in traditional. So I think Rios and Paris don't mind scoring 1 this end. And then even if Freiberger and Jäggi get 2, I think they can pull the power play out in the last end and keep the center open. So the goal for Rios and Perret is to score this end. 2 would be a bonus, 1 would be okay. And of course the goal for Jäggi and Freiberger is to steal. They'll be going hard out for steal this end, trying very hard to steal a point. They won't be too happy with just a force.
Go, 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 go hard. Linie is goed. Hard. Go, 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 go.
Nice shot by Michelle. It kind of helps also when you just threw a draw on the last end for your second point. You can throw exactly the same speed. Rios is going to try and play the soft peel. So this will be done using probably back 4-foot weight, maybe back 8-foot weight. Just in case it comes by the guard, you'll still have something. Ideally, you'd like to just to tick it and roll your shooter into the house.
Oh, nee, is goed, is goed, is goed. Zet nog gelijk curlen. Nee, is goed. Zie! Paas!
Als je dit traineert.
Okay,
Perfect.
Successfully done. You'd like to have those stones closer to the center, so they were actually corner guards. But successfully opened up the center. And their stone still can't be removed from play, so it's going to be an opportunity for them to sit a couple of points after this next shot. We're having a discussion now whether they should come in the house or throw a center guard. Obviously, one way to defend against the other team scoring 2 is to sit 2 stones in the house, but I think they're looking at the scoreboard to see if it changed from when they put up the 2. It hasn't. They're still down 1. And I think their goal will be to steal 1, so I think you'll see them put up a center guard.
Ja, 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 ja. Kannst du ja 3 machen.
I'm always amazed how many times teams turn around to look at the scoreboard. And I've never seen it change from the time I looked at it before.
So if they have a shot. It's 2.
Here's the call for the center guard. And they want it right close to the house.
protecting the shot rock?
Don't know if you need it quite so house. I think Rios can probably get his shooter in the house off of this one. He's going to try and play the double on the yellow on the center line and the yellow on the side of the 12-foot there and stick over there for a second counter. If that guard had been a little further out, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
So that looks now more like a traditional curling
Yeah,
game.
now we're
this
into a
end.
traditional type curling game where yellow team is of Freiberger Jäggi are trying to steal one, and Rios and Perret are trying to ensure they at least get one, and 2 would be a bonus. Had to hit that a little more thinly to stay over there, but he has successfully removed the center guard. Should we do it again, Mario's saying? I think the answer is yes. Maybe they're going to play the hit. Giving a hard look at this one. There's only 2 shots for each team to come. So if you miss the center guard a little bit, it gives the opportunity for your opponent to score, to sit 2. So I think this time they've decided they're going to play the takeout.
Perfect.
Rios going to hit that in the nose, and they'll try and stick on the last one for their single point. They could try and play a freeze here. I think they switched to that. Rios indicated a takeout initially, but I think that stone's behind the tee line, and they're going to have to give up last stone advantage anyway, so why not take a small risk, very small risk to get 2. If they can freeze on here, that'll give them a chance to maybe get a 2-ender. That's pretty good. Not a bad shot.
Nase is super. Nee, wel, als dit meer naar een heet is nog een easy maak, wel. Voor een heet is sowieso, oder? Aber ich würde auch gleich es nicht, so ein bisschen
So
kontrolliert.
now
Nase,
Team Jäggi Freiberger are going to hit this stone.
Go for it.
A little surprised that they played a hit on their last one. I think I would have still played a guard with at that point in the end. Hitting the stone will leave their stone in front of the tee line.
Freeze. Shoot in.
No.
That stone is, there's no stones in, I don't believe that stone's in the house. Might be a biter, but certainly opportunity now for a very low risk, no risk opportunity for Team Perret Rios to draw down partly around the corner guard and frozen on that stone, which will make it difficult for Team Freiberger Jäggi to remove.
So still an option to count 2 points for
Make a good one here. It's a strong chance to score 2. Like to sit it right on the center line, 3/4 in the house. It'll be virtually impossible to remove. Right on the tee line, rather, not center line.
En de curlen. Oei, oei, oei. Snel, hè?
Ja.
Ze hebben veel curlen.
Trying to make it curl.
Tia. Tia.
Schöner Rios, bravo. Ai.
Oops. Now in traditional curling, Team Freiberger Jäggi would probably try and draw one around behind to force the team to last stone. I think in this case what they might try to do is throw it in the back of the forefoot. Maybe Rios will hit and roll out, and then they get last stone in the next end anyway without having given up a point. You want to throw it close enough to the center where your opponent might play the takeout as opposed to the draw. And behind the tee line, there's less area to roll to. So I think if you throw it just on the back of the forefoot, you tempt your opponent to throw and play hit and stay and hope they roll out.
So it's about optimizing the position of your oak now. But if it's too far behind in the house,
If it goes too far behind the house, then the other team will probably just draw for their one.
Also, es ist, wenn er nicht kommt. Dann ist easy.
Nee.
Dann wir trotzdem weiter.
Nee.
So you're probably just trying to bait them a little bit.
Im Haus ist also von dem her.
I think I'd be trying to go back forefoot, not the button. Certainly they're going to hit that one.
You cannot draw to it.
It's hard to outdraw that one. You're going to have to play a hit on that one. So because they don't retain last stone, if they blank the end, they'll be trying to hit this on the nose. And of course, Team Freiberger Jäggi would be hoping they roll out.
Kommt er mit ihm?
Hä?
Wo gib ich?
Aussen Steig, 10.
Wieso bin ich aber ab der Mitte nicht gehört?
Ja, ja. Verwischen. Muss gehen. Schön schneller.
Nein, ist gut, ist gut.
Naja. Das ist gut.
Super, super.
Perfekt, Jenny.
Jenny has very strong mechanics and slides generally very accurately at the target. So wide open takeout, no problem for her. So a score of 1.
Hätte ich nicht besser können. Aber nach
And
der Rose machst du
Perret Perret Rios now lead
nicht.
5-3. And I'm guessing we'll have the power play here. And they've chosen the right side of this sheet as we're looking at it. So we'll see how Rios defends against this. Most of the teams we've seen have been defending this by playing the outside in, angle raise the red stone into the house.
Eén lang! Dünne! Dünn!
Swing! Go! Go! Fish!
Successfully done.
Perfect. Come on.
So I think you'll see Mario probably throw a guard again on their own stone, or perhaps just draw another one in the house that can't be taken out yet. I don't know what their tactic is. They could throw a guard on their stone in the house, or they could draw another one in.
Or draw behind the opposition rock there.
Oh, snel een beetje afwischen. Oeh, ik kan veel.
Looks like they're playing the guard.
Nee, niet wachten, niet wachten. Zo is goed.
Doch nicht tappen.
Zo is goed. Zo is ver goed, ja.
Goed dat freeze. Niet.
Zo.
Ja. Und nicht einmal freeze. Einfach höher sein.
Why don't they do the same thing now?
They could play the same way. It's more open on that side.
Ja, oder een drittel.
Je denkt half.
I think Jenny threw out there. She could probably tell Martin exactly where to put the brush for this one.
Ja.
It's going to play, come around from the center side.
Oh,
Zeg Karla,
Länge hoch.
wo ist er?
Lang. Hinten, irgendwo.
He's a little bit heavy.
Ja, kommt runter. Kommt runter. Oh.
He's talking to it. That's never a good sign. They don't listen very well.
Oh,
Okay.
Not bad. Got shot stone. Second shot still belongs to team Jäggi Freiberger, who are allowed to play a takeout at this point. Should they desire, they could tap that stone out and roll back toward the center.
But that would only shoot them 2 rocks so far.
Jenny played 1, Rios has played 1.
Shouldn't you go for more than 2?
Michelle played 1. So this is the 4th delivered stone of the end.
Das ist fast Backline. Ja. Du darfst, aber wir müssen ihn noch putschen. Backline! Hack!
So. Sechs.
Nee, ik glaube beide
I don't know if the double's there. The double's possible. Hit the back half of the one in the center line. I think
Wo muss ich ihn bringen?
I would just hit and roll over toward it.
3/4. Gib mir mit, ich stehe. Meine Outhand. Halt, brenn noch lang, so
But I
gut.
think Rios will be throwing one of his favorite ones here. A lot of weight. Want to hit it almost where that brush is and roll over and just push the other yellow one, not necessarily out, but
Tust du gut,
so
der
that
Roll
he's
ist auch
sitting
gut.
2 reds. He only has to push it about
5 centimeters.
yeah, half a meter at the most.
Ah, scheiße.
Not bad.
Schlecht gespielt, sorry. Sorry, schlecht gespielt.
Team Jäggi Freiberger will be trying to probably hit and roll behind the guard now.
Nee, maar du
Or they
sagst
could
ja
roll
von
behind
dem,
the
da
red
kann
guard.
sie
They could roll
rausnehmen,
either way.
oder?
They could roll behind the red one or the
Dann würde ich,
yellow one.
You have to pay attention not to offer them a double. Huh?
wenn du den machst und seine Nase bricht, dann... Ja, ist gut.
You're
Nein, ist
looking
gut,
at
so ist
both.
gut. Bis hier, sonst können wir so ein bisschen halb aussen hier.
I think Michelle prefers the hit and roll behind the red stone.
Das ist nur einer, gell?
Richtig.
Was?
Sind noch 3. Maximal 4.
Nein, eben so halb bisschen offen wäre super, aber sicher Second
Ich
bleiben.
habe nicht Angst.
Ja, und zum letzten haben wir das Powerplay.
I heard Jenny just mentioned
Das Powerplay.
they could play the power play in the last end.
That's what you were indicating before, that they, in order to
It's
keep
not
the house
necessarily to
open.
get 2, it's just to keep the center open so they'll have
Yeah.
a easier chance to score 1.
Stadion.
Great roll by Mario.
Gerade.
Fan?
Maybe made it too well.
High risk, aber ist okay.
The danger with rolling directly behind that stone is that if Rios hits the front one on the nose, his back one will be right behind it. Probably wanted to roll where it wasn't quite totally
farther.
undercover.
Ist gut, ist gut. Ist gut, sieht ab.
So
Dann nur das 10, wenn du es lieb hast.
Mir ist egal. Muss görlen.
Nicht gut.
Muss görlen. Muss görlen. Ja! Yes! Und super!
overswept a little bit.
Sorry. Sorry, Jenny.
I think they just overswept that a little bit. Had to curl a little bit more.
Is mijn even vertrouwd, gell?
Huh?
Is mijn even vertrouwd.
En hier guys, op zoek naar tweeën, hoor. Goed.
Again, a decision to be made.
Also,
Draw
also,
behind
hier, guys, van
the
twee
red
tot
stone.
zeven mag je.
Or draw a second one behind the yellow corner guard. And if you do draw behind the red one,
Vooral
do you do it outside in or inside out?
What's the advantage of drawing behind the corner guard? The yellow
Well, I think
corner guard?
at this point they're trying to get a 3. They're hoping a 3 is still in play. The advantage of drawing behind the yellow one, of course, is that any play made on the front yellow one is your stone that would perhaps be hit into the rings. Playing behind, and it's a longer guard, so it's a harder raise. Playing behind the red one is a shorter raise, and also the opponent is playing their own stone back.
Dit hing ik corner guard.
So I think the aggressive
Goed, dus het is 1-2, corner guard.
call and the safer call is to go behind the yellow one.
Goed, vind ik goed.
And I believe that's the one they've chosen to go behind, it's the yellow one.
The,
Als hij zegt het toch? Nee.
the red
Oh,
one. huh?
sorry. They're actually trying to go behind the red stone.
Nee, 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 nee.
Be
Kijk,
careful,
Mario,
just
kijk,
go
voorheen.
behind the tee line so you don't leave a double,
Rodios.
which they've done. Which they've gone behind the tee line.
Okay.
There's no double takeout there. However, there's a bit of a hit and roll behind the red one. They can get a little bit of a hit and roll behind the red one.
Ja, dat kan niet zo.
Which would force the Swiss, the Team Jäggi Freiberger to only one.
If they get a little bit of a roll behind the red one now, they could be a force to 1.
Ja, 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 ja. Ah, dat is dus.
De linie.
Nou, is het dan
De linie.
ook wel.
Ene mee, hè?
Zie.
Het ene mee, Xenia, mee. Niet nerveus.
Achtung!
Stond er, hè?
Oh! Zie je? Oh! Oh, gelijk weg, ga! Oh! Zie je?
Dat was nog geil gezien, toch?
Papa!
All right, successful hit on the nose.
More or less open takeout for two. huh?
Takeout for 2. Probably quiet weight. A little bit more than hack. No need to throw it heavier than that. Just have to move it past through the 8 foot. So if this is successfully completed, we'll have a tied score.
Nee, ik geloof niet. Slecht behakt is 2.
Quite a good game. We haven't seen many mistakes.
Now this has been very well, good battle between two teams that working very hard in this final game. They both like to be on top. Two skilled teams making lots of shots.
This one needs some curl, huh?
Oh, Rios, first!
Nice quiet weight, held the shooter. Score of 2 for team Jäggi Freiberger.
Som vi immer.
And add them up, it's 5-5, playing the last end. So team Jäggi Freiberger will need to steal a point. And I think you'll see Team Rios put the power play and stones over on the side. They don't want to have the center cluttered up, so they're going to put the stones to the side. Team Freiberger will not be trying to angle raise the stone into the house. They'll be putting up a center guard. Little update on our bronze medal game. After 6 ends, score is 5-4 for Team Scotland. Team Switzerland, Hegner, Attinger have last stone in the 7th, and they're playing the 7th end right now.
Wow. Achtung, jetzt kannst du vielleicht. Ja, jetzt go! Go out! Go, 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 go,
We can see Team Perret Rios play the soft peel.
Zo dünn, dass man den nicht berührt.
Ja.
Aber nein, nein, geht easy. Easy.
We saw Jenny execute this perfectly in the 6th end. So if they can do this again in this end, it's going to go a long way to getting victory in their favor. A little overswept. Can't take that stone out of play. Had that stone gone out of play, all the stones would have been put back.
All the stones?
They would have had to, they can't, not allowed to take any stones out of play, and if they do, they would have to replace the stones and take the shooter out of play. However, a little overswept. I don't think Jenny knew how strong Martin is. Swept that one, kept it very straight, moved it out of play. From now on, of course, Team Perret Rios can play takeouts, because the next stone that they throw will be the 4th delivered stone of the end.
So now the Swiss need, the Jäggi Freiberger needs a come around.
Looks like they're playing a come around here.
Ja.
Might be a little on the warm side. Rios is getting ready to sweep this one. Oh, that's a big mistake. That stone had to be in the house and in the forfeit area.
Oh, weißt du was? Gehen wir noch den anderen Stängel. Also. Nicht mehr selber etwas bewegen.
Ja, ich habe den ganzen Vierfuß, wenn der offen ist. Ich habe das halbe Haus offen, wenn der offen ist.
Kann ja der Rote mitnehmen, wenn wir dünn genug sind.
Ist gut so.
Ja, letztes Mal. Nein, ein bisschen weniger.
Weniger?
Ah, ja, ja.
Ja, ich.
Well, it's just a matter of Team Perret Rios keeping the front open, throwing peels.
Go.
That's successful. I don't think they're going to be able to hide too much behind that one.
Ich gebe ja offen 4 für Dolly, also. Ich würde sagen, wenn der hier gehst, ist auch gut.
Be throwing a center guard. One of the things that I never see teams try is they could try and freeze their own yellow stone. So if they freeze that corner guard 3/4 on, it's possible that trying to double peel them off, you could roll a stone into the shooter, into the house. And if they can get the angle on the one on the side, might be able to get a few stones in the house. But they're going to try and make a freeze on this one. Rios is going to try and roll into the forefoot and move the play over into the forefoot area where it's wide open.
Aber jetzt kannst du hinten drauflegen.
Ja, das ist doch egal.
Also gut.
Ja, wirklich gut.
A little less.
Tip. Oh,
Coming, Mr.
oh.
Steele.
Gut.
Achtung dort.
peeled it out of there. Don't think he was ever going to stick into the forefoot with that speed.
Would it be a good idea to put up another front guard?
Right now, they're going to have a miss to win this game. It might be worthwhile even going around that yellow one so that it's 2/3 covered. And still short of the house, and then assuming that Perret and Rios peel off the front one, then there's a stone closer to the forefoot, and maybe you can get your final stone in the forefoot area. Nice shot. So Rios is just going to peel everything out of here. Get a half of that stone. That will leave Team Freiberger Jäggi with a draw around the corner guard. And if they successfully make it, that will leave Jenny with a draw to a large 4-foot or a 6-foot to win the game. Everything out of play. They don't want to bury this one. They want to make it mostly buried. Maybe show a quarter stone.
To tease them to a takeout? Or?
Yeah, tease them maybe, and if it's a blank end, then you play another end and you would have last stone. Because of course you don't, blanking an end doesn't retain last stone. So if they could tease them into a takeout and got a roll out, they would take last stone into the extra end. So if you bury this one completely, you take the that option out of the other player's hands. So they probably want to show them about a little less than a half of this stone. So their stone is just off the forefoot. Maybe tease them a little bit.
That's quite an interesting thing, I think, that they could do also in traditional curling, couldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Change the
rule for an extra end. If you blank the last end, you lose hammer in the extra end. Pretty good. That's probably a little too much buried.
Leave them.
Yeah. That's about as good as Michelle could have done. She could have maybe had it a little closer to the center line by a couple of centimeters. But about as good as she could do. So this is not a for sure draw, but it's one that Jenny's probably been thinking about the whole end, that she's going to have to draw the forefoot to win. This is what you want your final to be. Tied up playing the last shot. One team having to draw, make a good shot to win. Jenny thinks it's pretty close.
Looks a bit heavy, doesn't it? No.
That's just about exactly where Jenny hit the ice when she called the shot. So a great draw. I think Jenny had a spectacular game this afternoon and probably was the factor in turning this around. And Team Rios-Parrot win the finals of the Aarau Mixed Doubles Championship 6-5. Great game.
And that's it from our broadcast of the second International Mixed Doubles Trophy, Aarau, Switzerland. Thank you very much, Al, for joining us
My pleasure.
today. and giving us your very good comments on these games. And thanks also to our chief operator, Mike Laub, our marathon curler.
To bring these great pictures to us.
Thank you very much, and hope to see you on another occasion here in Aarau, and have a good night, have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.